Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining me for another Steve Rod Golf vacation course vlog. We are at the Hawaii Prince Golf Club playing the B and C courses today. And let me tell you, this is the peak of Hawaii golf. In our last video, we were in the jungle, and just a 45-minute drive later, we are surrounded by blue skies and palm trees at the Hawaii Prince Golf Club. As we tee off on the opening par 4, let's not forget we are on vacation, and vacation rule number 1 is to tee it forward. So today, we're playing from the white tees.
There it is. Middle palm tree.
Guys, we are on hole number 1 here at the Hawaiian Prince Golf Club. There's a lot of wind here today, but we're gonna try and keep it straight and hope for the best. It's just vacation golf, right? This is just all fun golf.
That's right.
We got away with a horrible strike. Like, look at how much dirt is on this guy. Like, it's disgusting. Disgusting. Starting out with a par is a great feeling, but sometimes it goes a little to my head, so there's nothing like a duck hook to reset ourselves. Thankfully, this shot ended up on the tee box of the next hole, and it's only about 90 yards left into the pin. This is an in-between distance for me though. It's just outside of what I can do with a 56 degree, so it has to be a light 50 degree. And I just don't have that touch yet after a couple of months of not playing. Maybe 2 feet short of where I wanted it to be. Man. We ended up with a decent position to get up and down, but we just missed on the par putt and end up settling for a bogey. This tee shot on the par 3 was just a little bit more of the same as the last hole. Not quite as committed as I should be to the low iron and wedge shots, but still we're able to have a good look to try and save our par. After another misfire with the iron shots, we are reminded of vacation rule number 2. Give yourself a break. The ball landed in a spot where my legs were just against the bush. Now, I don't know anything about plants, but I was not risking any sort of rash or discomfort for the rest of my trip. The next shot found the sand, where we were forced to try and get up and down again for a third straight time. I hate putting with the flagon. I hate putting with the flagon. It's the worst. This is why. Because I can't hit it into the back of the cup because I'm afraid it's going to bounce off and then I lip out.
There it is, Steve. There it is. Well done.
After some clear frustration from the last hole, I give the driver a rip on this next shot. I catch it a little low in the face, but still end up in a good position. Not quite on the green like I thought it was, but in a place I can still feel comfortable about getting away with a par. No chance of hitting that. Hopefully it'll roll to 200. Oh, it's way left. Where it landed. Way left. This par 5 is a great example as to why it doesn't take a great player to get a par. 3 back-to-back errant iron shots here. The first is short right, the second way left, and this third one way onto the backside of the green. Somehow though, we're still able to take all those not so great shots and still escape with 2 putts up and down for a par. Here's where things started to turn around for me and my irons. This shot felt really good off the face. It actually landed on the green but wasn't able to hold the front edge and rolled back down to its current position now. But from here, we're left with a short chip and putt with an opportunity to get another par. On this par 4 8th of the C course, there's not much threat left, so I decided to attack. If I miss left, not much to worry about. I missed this shot though way off the toe, and so far left it actually hopped a couple of times off the cart path and ended up being pin high on the left-hand side of this 350-yard hole. On blind shots like these, I'm not trying to get close to the pin. I just want to be on the green. If this was my third shot, I might have approached it differently and gone and take a look at what the green was looking like, but for now, we'll take our chances and rely on our putting. This drive is rare for me. No movement right to left at all, and it just stayed dead straight. There was a hazard on the right-hand side, so I was worried, but thankfully, it didn't find it. Instead, it landed in something like a drop zone or a drive chip and putt tee box, something like that. And from there, we hit a really solid 5-iron and ended up with about 20 feet left for eagle. Three-putt bogeys are the worst. Three-putt pars are just as bad. But Ed, how are we feeling after the front nine?
Up and down.
It's not too
See
bad.
if we can rein it in on the second 9.
Yeah, we got this. 2 over heading into the back, not so bad. To start the back 9, we don't have an ideal result for our tee shot. But honestly, we had just picked up some food and drinks, and I was starving. More interested in the food than the results of that drive by far. We still ended up in a decent spot though for our second, and from here we're able to reach the green in regulation. Coming off that birdie, we just want to keep this momentum going. We haven't had a bogey since hole 4, and we want to keep it that way as long as possible. So in harmony with vacation rule number 3, make a plan, we have to stick to that plan. Before I arrived at the course, I planned my tee shot for each hole. So far, I've stuck to that plan completely, and we're sitting at 1 over par. We'll try to keep that going through the remainder of the round. No, it was not your fault. I played it pretty straight and it jumped. Thank you. That was not well struck, but it's a par 5. After a solid 4-iron, I try and hit it again to go back to back, but I have a really poor strike with this next one below my feet. This is the first poor iron shot since early in the front 9. Now there's a little bit more pressure on the next shot being farther away than anticipated, and we end up missing this one short right of the pin. But we're not out of it yet. There's still another chance to scramble for par. The par 3 fourth hole of the B course is a pretty standard pitching wedge shot. However, I completely forgot to account for the wind behind us, so I ended up overshooting the green and going into the greenside bunker. I'm confident though in my bunker play, so I still have hope that I can escape with a par. The 5th hole of the B course is where course management and making a plan really helped out. I had been hitting my driver really well today, so I was tempted to try and go off script, but I ended up sticking with my plan and played a 4-iron off the tee, even though it would leave me a longer iron in. There's a lot of water left, and if I hit driver, that definitely comes into play. Earlier in the video, I told all of you how much I hate putting with the flag in. I absolutely hate it. So, number 1, yes, I am for sure taking that putt. And number 2, I don't care what any of you have to say about it. I am 100% confident that that would have gone in and hit the bottom of the cup, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
There it is. There it is.
All right, so that swing was the only one that I didn't listen to my notes on because the rough here is pretty much fairway.
It's not rough.
Yeah, it's not rough. So might as well just take advantage of it. And I just piped it out there as far as I could. Going into the last hole, I didn't even know where I was at with my score on the back. If I had, the following things would likely not have happened. I'd like to say that I learned from most mistakes, but yet again, on the 18th tee box, I tried to order an Uber back to our resort. And if you remember from the previous video, that didn't turn out so well. And this time, it was even worse. I ended up ordering an Uber from the wrong location and trying to correct that the entire time while we were going up the 18th. Once again, I remind you of vacation rule number 4. Keep it distraction-free. The first bunker shot coming out and landing right into the next one was deflating. I got up to this next bunker and just took a whack at it. Same thing goes for the putt, and I ended up with a double bogey. It does sting, but overall, we played a great round of golf. 2 over on the front and an even on the back, finishing with a 74 and an amazing day chasing pars.
Thank you so much.